So I had become so embedded with the shame of who I was, the addict, the criminal, the this, that I didn't even know who I was. And so, me saying, oh, I'm just a junkie, I'm gonna die this way. I felt like at that time in my life, I was so broken that was what I deserved, that I couldn't do any better. I'm like, no, I'm Felisha, I am strong, I'm confident, I've got this. And I can say that now because I have God. So I grew up here in Palmer, Alaska. I graduated 2005. My dad was an alcoholic. That was kind of like my focal point when I was trying to find like a husband or something. I wanted to fix someone. I wanted to be that enabler, and was one of my biggest downfalls, was being an enabler and trying to fix everybody. My ex-husband was in turn emotionally, physically abusive. It wasn't as bad in the beginning, I would cover it up as, oh, juice fell out of the freezer and hit me in the eye, that kind of thing. It didn't really get bad until we both got addicted. My dad was murdered in 2011 in Ketchikan. I'd lost my mind. It really hurt. I was very angry with God. I didn't know where to turn. In turn, I turned to pills, and I turned to just numbing the pain. About 2015 was when I met my child's dad, and I tried meth for the first time, and I was hooked. It was like no other. Made me feel good. It made me forget all my pain. But it was chasing that magic dragon. I completely walked away from my family. When I would show up at my family's house, my mom had to tell me that she didn't want me around my family. The ex-husband had become very abusive at that point. Some charges were brought up upon him. He made it seem like if I got his charges dropped, he would take me back and things would be fine. But it really wasn't. I came home and found him with another woman in my house, and that was kind of like my last straw. I packed up all my clothes and I never turned back. I went from living in my own house, having multiple cars, to living in a trailer with no electricity, no running water, and I was okay with it. Numbing the pain and kind of forgetting what I was really doing. June of 2018, I found out that I was pregnant. I was arrested shortly after. I went to jail. I found God, which is really weird. A lot of people are like, oh, you only found God because you were in jail. No, that was actually my solitude. I was actually able to sit down and listen and talk with him. And at that point, I knew that I had to change. Realized that I wasn't who I thought I'd become. I was living with the shame of, oh, you're nothing but a junkie. You're never gonna amount to anything. No one's ever gonna love you. Those were the things that I had held on tight because people that I had loved had told me that. I didn't realize that I could find the love and the mercy just by turning to God. I was done. I was ready to embrace being a mom, and then I got bailed out. And when I was bailed out, I didn't have a safe place to go. So I went back to what I knew. I was on ankle monitor, and I went right back to the same people I was hanging out with. One thing led to another. Oh, do you want to get high? Yeah, at first I was like, no, I can't, I'm pregnant. And they were like, oh, it's okay. And I know lots of pregnant people who've gotten high while they're pregnant. And so I believed them. I went to go see my PO after that because I was on ankle monitor, and she asked me for a UA. And I looked at her and I was like, I can't, I'm dirty. Went back to her office and she looked at me and she goes, so you mean to tell me your baby's high right now? And I started crying and I said, yeah. I said, my baby's high right now. And she said, why? And I said, because I don't deserve to be a mom. So at that point, I had come to terms that I was not gonna ever hold my daughter. I was not gonna be a part of her life. And so I went to court for a bail review on that following week. My attorney told me that I'd been accepted to Valley Oaks. On my way out from Highland to Valley Oaks, I saw a bald eagle flying over the flats. And with me being Yupik, that to me was a symbolization of freedom that I knew I was right where I was supposed to be at that point in my life. When I walked into Valley Oaks, it was like walking into the most peaceful place that I've ever been into. They took me shopping because, I came from jail, so all I had was the clothes on my back, and they cared about me like I was their own. We were actually given an assignment because we were picking out our life verses, and opened up my Bible, and I opened it up to Romans 12:2, and I'm just summarizing it, but the verses, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And to me, that was God's way of saying, you don't have to live for this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Once I got that new mind in Christ, once I saw who I was through God's eyes, it was life-changing. I watched myself change into someone that I didn't even know who I was.
Set Free Alaska comes alongside individuals and families to help them find hope and freedom from addiction and mental health problems. The dream from the beginning was that all Alaskans would experience God's love and freedom from addiction. But now we're seeing not only that freedom from addiction and individuals walking into recovery, but through strong collaboration and partnerships with organizations like N.I.T, we are also seeing people employed and pursuing career path, being able to support their family, give back to the community.
I'd been applying for jobs since, I don't know when. As soon as I got out of treatment, I started applying for jobs. I was like, no one's gonna wanna hire me. I wouldn't hire me, honestly. But Northern Industrial Training, the staff there, they saw something in me that I didn't see.
Northern Industrial Training is Alaska born and bred. We started in October of 2003. We started to deliver services that were centered around truck driver training and have expanded since to offer courses that are certified through the National Center for Construction Education and Research, the American Welding Society, and many, many more. N.I.T is rooted firmly in our 5 anchors. And those 5 anchors are what help us guide not only our day-to-day environment, but our long-term goals and aspirations. And those 5 anchors are professionalism, respect, integrity, consistency, and then the one that defines us the most, a will to succeed.
Working at Northern Industrial Training has given me confidence. Working there, I was able to save up money. I saved up enough of a down payment so I can buy a brand new car for me and my daughter. I am currently 2 years into my bachelor's in criminal justice, human services.
You pair our 5 anchors and how we treat people to what she got as a client as Set Free, you can see daily growth.
And so this collaboration of partnering with N.I.T and others in the community, not only helping someone find freedom from addiction, but hope for their future, meaningful employment, an ability to give back and to pursue a career and to work with their hands and to accomplish something great, providing for their families, pursuing hope for their future.
If I could give a message, it would just be to hold on and ask for help, because there are people here to help you. There are people who understand where you're coming from. They're in it to make sure that you get your life back. My name is Felisha, and I have been set free.